Okay, good morning, everyone. Recording started. Let's get going. It is 9:28. Market is almost open. Thursday, May 7th. Here are things I'm looking at before the open. Stock futures a little changed. Record highs. We are at all-time highs. Oil prices keep sliding amid hopes of Iran war. Very range. Sorry. Yeah, it was very much in a range yesterday. But there was a nice move this morning. ARM stock drops despite solid results. McDonald's, Shell lead the way on another busy earnings day. DoorDash rallies on solid earnings order outlook. So these are things that I like looking at. I don't necessarily trade these products anymore, but it's good to know. I also got something about Peloton this morning. I believe they had earnings before the market open. Peloton, maybe it wasn't today. Maybe it was yesterday. But earnings after the market closes today, CRWV. I know this is an interesting name. CoreWeave, Coin or Coinbase. Rocket Lab is another one that I used to trade. And as far as the economics calendar, I don't see much this morning. At 8:30, there was the initial jobless claim, which was under forecast, but a little bit higher than the previous. As far as a 3-star importance news event, I don't see any in the next little while. This is MNQ from this morning. There is a 3-hour trade over here. And I just realized I need to look at something over here just to make sure that I'm okay there. Yes, I am. And I'm in a position over here. Nope, spiked out of that position. Okay, I'm glad I put the stop where I did. All right, so I don't like being in. I was in a position from earlier, and I put the stop at break even, just because of these wicks, right? I was in M2K, and look at this price action here. So this is why I got out of it. So in no positions right now, and I will share what I did pre-market in a few minutes. Anybody in anything right now? Anybody looking at anything? If I don't hear anything, then I will share my 3 trades from this morning. I just need to look at something here and here. Yeah, William, I just got your question, and yes, I will answer a little bit later. We can talk after the morning session. Question is about futures market, and yes, it is possible. I guess I can answer it now. It is possible to take trades. This was my profit target, by the way. Let me finish this first. So this is what I was looking at on M2K, right over here. Stop was right in here. Let me start over. This is what I was looking at for M2K this morning. M2K, which is the Russell 2000, started selling. Impulse sell started there, and then we found a bottom over here. So I put my fibs. I entered on a limit order over here. Entered short on a limit order right there. My target was 3R, which was I entered a tiny bit shorter. It was just over here. So let's just say that my stop was right around there. So that was my trade from this morning. We made it all the way down here, very close to the target. I did not take profit, but what I did do is that I brought my my stop back to break even here. I do not like being in a position right when the market opens, and it was the right decision to take, because this would have stopped me out. And then look at what it did. It went right to target. but that's okay. I'm break even. I did not take the 2.8R over here, which in hindsight, you know what, if I know I'm going to be taking it off right at the open here, it might have been a good idea to take it here, but that's okay. I'm up from this morning anyway. This is a break even trade. But there's the trade book, right? Impulse sell starts at 3 a.m. Starts buying on this pin bar 5-minute candle. Sorry, 2-minute over here, but right over here, it starts buying over here. It retraces to the 50. We're still selling, right? It's just retraces to the 50, limit order at the 50, stop at the 61.8, aim for 3R. I don't like holding, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't like holding during the opening minutes. And this is what happens. Right? So I'm completely fine with this. And to answer the question, the answer was about trading futures. It is possible to trade futures after hours. They trade 23 hours a day. So from 6 p.m. Eastern time to 5 p.m. Eastern time. So 23 hours a day. They close just for the hour. So if we look over here, that was 4 p.m. and then we get to 1700. Right, well, I won't print 1700, but at 5:55 we close, then we reopen at 6 p.m. The moves, as well as equities. Equities trade after hours as well, but not the same times. Equities open at 4 a.m. So let's go over here. So this is the New York open here, right? So from 9:30 to 4 p.m. But then after hours trading, look at what happens to the volume. There's barely any volume, but it is possible to take these trades, right? A lot more slippage, a lot more disadvantages. But if you were to take the Kangaroo Tail short, like is one of my setups right here, right? This is a Kangaroo Tail short. It would have worked, right? I'm just answering a question from a student here, so bear with me. Right, this would have been the short. Let me just zoom in here. Right, stop above the wick, aim for 3R. Right, well, we got it pretty quickly. So yes, this would work. It's very the volume is a fraction of what it is during the New York Open. This market closes at 8 p.m. This closes at 8 p.m. and then it reopens again for pre-market trading at 4 a.m. This might be changing. I mean, there's rumors that we might be going to 23, 24 hours on equities. Who knows? But for the time being, volume is traded during the New York Open, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. After hours is 4 to 8 p.m. And then the market reopens the next day, 4 a.m. until 9:30. So I like having these different colors here on my chart. Okay, so there you go. That trade took out. You're welcome, Will. This trade would have worked. However, it would have stopped me out. So there's further proof of why I do not like trading the first half hour. But now that the market's open, I'm going to be looking at the first 30-minute candle. I want to see which direction are we going. We're definitely selling right now. MNQ wicked up, right? And these are massive wicks, right? These wicks have teeth, so they have bite. We don't know which direction we're going in right now. But let's get back to this morning. This is what I took this morning. This is MNQ. This was at 4 a.m. I was not up at 4 a.m., but it did put up a top at 4 a.m. What I like about this top is that there's room to the left. Excuse me. So there's room to the left. We are at all-time highs on low volume. Let's put the volume back up. Right? As compared to during the day, we have lower volume. Right? So I don't really look at volume with this strategy. I don't look at it much anyway. Take this off. Take this off. Okay, so we've got the top, and then we've got an impulse sell. I'm on the 5-minute. We are selling. Look at this big candle and then another massive candle right here. So this is where I start my fib. I will do this because I moved this after this trade here. So this is where I started the fib. There's room to the left. We have a tweezer top over here. We cannot make it any higher. It is after hours, so you're not expecting to go massively higher than what was traded during live trading. So I like this for a top. There's room to the left. Came down, put in this pin bar over here, right? This hammer over here. Pretend that this isn't here. Actually, here, let's do it with the replay. Start new, select bar. Let's go over here. Okay, so that's the top. That's the bottom. I'm expecting it to go back to the 50. And there I will have a limit order. Here, let me put it back. There you go. So the limit order is at the 50. Right there. Stop is at the 61.8 or maybe a tick above. Right there. And you aim for 3R. Aim for 3. There we go. And then candle by candle. There we go. That's where profit was hit. Right? There you go. Easy peasy. Same thing on, I don't remember now. Hang on a second. I know it was on oil. So there you go. I've marked this one up a little bit more. I won't explain every arrow over here. This is something I'm building for my students, but basically the same thing, right? There's room to the left. We had rejected over here, right? So from the top to the bottom over here, and this is where there we go. We'll replay that way. There's nothing beside it. So this is where I set the fib. I'm expecting it to go back to the 50. Limit order put in. Stop above the 61.8. It did not. It's hard to see, but this wick right here stopped right there. Came very close. And then go candle by candle. Right there. Hit target, 3R. You're done. What was the third one? Let me go to where I posted it here. Screenshots. MNQ, MCL, MGC. There you go. So let's look at this one. Let's replay. Let's put that there. All right. Same thing. Room to the left. This one was finding difficulty making new highs, right? See these wicks up here? And then we've got this large wick over here. So this right here at 4:05 a.m. was where the top was put in. The bottom, where it started coming back into play, was right over here at 5 a.m. This is where I started looking at it. It was maybe 5:15, I think. Got to my computer. Looked at the setup over here. I've got the replay. Let's select a bar that's a little bit closer. There we go. So this is what you're seeing, right? Put that in there, put that in there. This fair value gap is being held, right? So we're moving back up over here. Set a limit order, because if you wait for and this is what I'm testing out a lot. If you wait for a signal, your entry will be much lower and it's more difficult. Yes, sometimes you'll get stopped out, right? Absolutely, you'll get stopped out. It's impossible to win them all. But with proper risk management, if you lose 1 to every +3 that you make, that's asymmetric risk to reward. Let's go back here. That's the entry right there. When it hit the 50, stop above the 61.8. You guys are going to get tired of me saying, of explaining these, but I said I would. 3R was hit right there. So 3 trades plus 9R, and this one was taken off at 6 a.m. So everything before the market even opened. And then M2K, Then I was looking at this, right? Same setup. From the high pre-market, there's room to the left, came down, started buying, enter a limit order, stop above here, target at 3R. I took this one off, rightfully so, because I don't like the price action right at the open. Right. So I took it off. I didn't take it off. I left it on, but I put the stop back to break even. So I put my stop right there, stop me out at break even. So it's a zero trade, but I saved 1 hour. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. Could you clarify the importance of room to the left? This is something that is from, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. It's something that that Avi talks about. Actually, he doesn't talk about it as much anymore, but I think it's sous-entendu. How do you say that, my French friends? It's assumed, right? It's assumed that we look for room to the left, and room to the left basically means that the market hasn't been there in a long time. So the market is, the simplest way to say it is that the market is uncomfortable over here. Right. So when there's room to the left, it's something, and it comes from the naked trading, naked Forex book. That is the basis of my trading. That paired with Japanese candlesticks, those two books make up maybe 80% of my trading strategies. So that's what that is room to the left. I want to see that the market has not been there in a while. If I was taking a trade over here, let's say, let's replay. Start new. Let's go over here. Let's go there. Right? Do I trust this rejection over here, this red candle? Because if I look to the left, the market was just there. Right? If you're trading a double top, then you're looking at the previous high here, and you look, and there is room to the left. But I'm just trying to show here that from here to there is no room to the left. The market was just there. Maybe a better example would be to look over here, right? This is just inside of chop, and that's what we don't like. Okay. This was something that I added for an explanation yesterday. We can take this off, and get out of replay. Hopefully that answers the question. It is one of many rules, and this is annoying because this was one, I think I've said it before, I have a few ways of managing my trades. The +3R automatic, that's the one way. But if this was live during the live market, I would be trailing this stop. So this, had it not taken out this liquidity at the open, right now we're at 11R. So, oh well, that's okay. Can't win them all. Certainly does. Thank you. I'm glad that answers the question. So there you go. Those were my trades from this morning. I am starting to trade live with my own account. Still working out what I want to do with the prop firm. I'm not sold on it. I think I've talked about it before. I do not like the drawdown rule. It plays with my psychology, which, you know what, my psychology on my own account is good, because trades like this, it's okay. I'd rather take out my trade here at break even and miss this, because I know that the next one or the next one or the one after that will be +3R. So for every trade I lose, one trade makes up for it. So with proper risk management, the market is unbelievably abundant. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. There we go. Take that off. All right. Any questions, comments, something that you're looking at, please don't hesitate. Sorry. Let's go back to trading view. There we go. CVD is something I'm working with as well. This was an ellipse. So when you stretch it out, this one made sense. Over here, and when you zoom in like that, right? When you're zoomed in like that, it's more flat, but that's something I don't feel qualified to talk about CVD yet. I have used it in the past, but it was more percentage based. This indicator is the same thing. It's just instead of percentages up and down, it just actually shows you the bars. And I like this. Again, don't want to have too many things on my screen, but as far as an entry confirmation, I like it, and I will talk about it in the future. Questions, comments, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm not planning on taking any trades anytime soon, unless there's something very, very obvious that shows up. On MES here, we broke down. We might be this if we go to the 15-minute time frame. Right, we were in this zone here. We broke down this area, right, and retested it. So this could be a good sign for the move back down. What I don't like about it, there's no room to the left. The market was right there just this morning or last night. So what does that mean? Well, let me draw this, for example. Those are random, but those are all potential support areas. Right? That's what room to the left means. Is that very recently we have buyers, right? We had buyers that were taking this higher. Right? So it's one of the core parts of my trading. It won't keep me out of every trade, but my eyes go towards room to the left all the time. On the higher time frame, we are absolutely going higher. So shorting this market is not ideal. I'd prefer to take longs. Right? I can take these. We can take these off. And you're going to say, well, I did short this morning. Yes, I did short this morning, but these are for smaller moves. On the higher time frame, we're going higher. Not predicting. I don't know if we're going to keep going higher, but on the higher time frame, I like using the 4-hour. Right? It's pretty obvious that we're going higher. On the 4-hour time frame, we put in this kangaroo tail. Let me take volume off and CVD. Volume off. CVD off. There we go. So on the 4-hour time frame, right, we're going up, retested this level. This is what Avi talks a lot about, right? Look at how we broke above this level on the 4-hour time frame, tested, and then started making new highs, right? So what if you go long on a new high over here? You can tell that this is a liquidity sweep. Buyers really took control of this, even though it closed red. But what if you go long over here? I do not trade. I do not like swing trading these positions, but if you did take it for a few days, this is 4R because of this massive wick over here. If you have a tighter entry, you know, you're looking at 7. If you have a super tight entry, like I just saw somebody share in the Discord, you know, then you can have your risk to reward is much higher. Right. So what I was saying here is that on the 4-hour, we're going higher. Right? But this is definitely an interesting 4-hour candle. Right? It rejecting the top. So are we going to come and retest yesterday's high or the pre-market low for the continuation up? Or are we reversing at all-time highs? I will not short all-time highs unless I get my a really good signal. Let me just go back to the 5. I hope I have my speakers on. I haven't heard anybody.
Hey, is the speakers on?
Yep. Thanks for the confirmation. Yeah, my volume was a little bit too high. Thank you, Tarek. Yes, my speakers are on. What are you looking at, Tarek?
Hope I didn't scare you.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Take these off. I've taken the screenshots already. This 5 a.m. Or I should say 4 a.m. to the market opens at 3:30 a.m. right now, Eastern Standard, the London Open. During the London timeframe has been incredibly successful for this trade. And look at where we touched over here, right? London low so far is Asia high. Maybe not to the penny, but pretty damn close. I wonder if anybody in here trades Forex. I do not, full disclosure, it's the only product I've never traded, but I figured I would look at this. There you go. So this, basically on the same time frame, we had a high at 2:30 a.m. And this is, I'm in zero expert in Forex, something that I've never really been interested in. But I know that there are millions of traders that actually trade this exclusively. From the high here, let's zoom in a bit, just for the fun of it. So from the high here, there's room to the left. Market had not been there. Then we reverse. From there, the bottom was put in. Where was the bottom that I was looking at? I think this was it here. Right there. Yeah. So from there, limit order entry. 3R was just barely touched. Right. So if you know what you're doing, this strategy could possibly work with Forex as well. This is a US USD and Canadian dollar pair. What's going on with this? Oh, I don't want to take these drawings away because I am going to identify all these arrows. Because I've got it on global, I'll leave it on for now. Gold seems to have an impulse sell going on right now. So let's look at this. Right, from the open, we've got the first half hour almost in. Right, from there to here. Right, the impulse is moving down. There's room to the left from the top. From here, limit order. There you go. From there, a limit order. Let's put the risk at $100. It's always simple that way. It's a sell. Therefore, I want my stop above. I want my stop at the 61.8. And I want my entry at the 50. Right there. This will calculate pretty close the amount of contracts you want. And then your take profit. Well, what you can do is put in the short tool. And that's what I love about this strategy too, is that you can take your time, you plan it out. Right? So that would be the stop. Your 3 would be over here. It's a reasonable expectation. It's not like it's down here. Right? So a reasonable expectation over here. So I will remove this just to not have too many things on the screen. And oh, I should have left it on because anyway, we'll say that it's down here, and there you go. I'll set it. That's on gold. Again, this is for educational purposes. I'm not telling anybody to short over here, right? make sure that you do your own strategies, and these are not signals. They will never be signals, right? This is just a strategy that I have been working on. And the 50% retracement I've looked at for years. The reason I'm adding it now is because I miss a lot of entries on the tops here. So there you go. We were filled. Right? What I like to see over here is an obvious liquidity sweep. And this was a massive candle here. But then after that, we didn't do anything. It didn't give me an entry signal to go short. So what this strategy does is get you in at the 50% pullback. And we'll see. I might be taken out here. And and this is on paper trading, by the way. And if I am, that's okay. -1 +3. It's risk management is the most important part of trading. Okay, salut Ali. Thank you. Have a great day. I don't think I missed anything else. Good morning, Hamza. So here's a live paper trading example of what it is that I look for. And I prefer to wait for the first half hour, but we're away from the extremes right now. So for now, the impulse move at the beginning was lower, right? Yes, we moved up, but then since then we came down and we put down this low here. So that's why I'm figuring, okay, well, I'll try a short from here. It might not work. And it's important to realize that that's okay. It put it in at $75 USD, even though I have risk at 100, because if I went one tick higher, it'd be higher than 100. Right? So that's the reason that this the risk was only 75 instead of 100. Right? Went up. How amazing would that be if it just worked out in my favor this for this time? Right? Going up. Rejecting. A long wick right now is rejecting. It's a 5-minute candle, and there's still 4 minutes left. So I'm not going to count my chickens before they're hatched. And to be completely honest with you, when I put these trades on, I move the screen. I go do something else. Get out of replay here. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Take this off here. News on Apple. Apple all-time high, 291.53. Here you go. There's Apple ripping. Apple at all-time highs. It's the entire market. You know, AMD all-time high yesterday or the day before. NVIDIA, not quite, right? But NVIDIA has earnings. I don't think they'll show it on here in advance, but it has earnings near the end of earnings season. So I can imagine that this is going to be choppy until then. Tesla, what's going on? Tesla on the higher time frame. Get rid of this. Higher time frame from a low pulled back. You know, difficult to tell. You know, there's definitely room to the left here, right? But now it's at R6, which is pre-market high. I don't know what at R6 it could be a sell, but that's very strong. So I don't see much on Tesla right now. NVIDIA earnings on the 20th. Thank you for that, William. MNQ. Get this out of here. Okay, so now that the first half hour is put in, we're on a 5-minute time frame. We are inside this range here, this pre-market range. We can take these drawings out, take that fib out. For the time being, I would draw my fibs from the bottom to the top, because the latest impulse move is higher. And if anybody asks why I say that, because there's this massive candle right here. There's a fair value gap that was put in here between this candle and the close of this candle. So from wick to wick, we've got this area over here that shows that the buyers were absolutely in control. Right? So once we do put in a high, I would put my fib from the bottom, or the beginning of the impulse move, to the high, and I'd be looking at the possibility of going in long for the buyers that were missed over here, or the buyers that didn't want to show their entire position right away. Right? They still have orders. They still want to buy at this area. And I'm not talking about retail traders. I'm talking about, the whales, the hedge funds, etc., that have a lot of money to put in here. I'm not going to put this in right now because the top is not put in. What's going on with MGC? Not taken out yet. All right, it's wicked up there twice. It did make a low below this 5-minute candle here, but then it got bought up. So that might scare some people out of the short here. But what I love about this system, or whatever you want to call it, is that your stop is put in. It's your stop and your take profit are planned out before the trade. And honestly, for the best psychology hack I have found is to put this on and then go to another chart or walk away. That's what works for me. Looking at every tick and looking at P&L and seeing, like, that's M2K over here. Had I been looking at this this morning, right? And 3R was just for perspective. 3R was from this line here to just below this wick. So right there, that was 3R right there. But I wasn't looking at it. At this point, helping my children get ready for school, and I don't look at every tick.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. How are you, Evo?
Oh, fine, thanks. A little late to the game, but I should follow your advice. I got in long with PLTR via PTIR, and saw an ABCD set up. The fib 50% held. Not the ideal green entry candle to have a doji, but I like the volume, so I entered. I went long 13.99, put my stop at 13.87.
Wait, can you tell me what time frame? Sorry, Evo. Sorry to interrupt. What time frame are you looking at?
5-minute time frame.
5-minute. Okay.
And looking at target 1450, about 1450, 55, which is SMA 200.
Okay.
On the hourly chart, and then I don't know if it's got steam to go to get the previous day high, May 5th to 1531.
Oh, you're still in it right now.
Yeah, still in it. I'm gonna let
I
this go.
misunderstood when he said you should have followed the advice. Which advice is that? Do you mind sharing?
Just walk away.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Evo. It took me a long time to figure that out. Even though you hear it all the time, you read about it on X, people say, get your emotions out of it. Trading is 90% psychology. I believe that. I know it was for me. And absolutely walking away, putting the trade on, being okay to lose 1R to make 3.
Yeah.
And walking away.
Oh, that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. We'll see here. I mean,
it's not
if
easy.
it gets to around 1425, that would be 2R for me. So at that point, I would maybe I'll put an alert here. If it gets to that point, I'll go ahead and raise my stop to just above break even. And yeah,
I like this.
Just put some reminders.
Yeah, there's definitely, you know, anytime you look to the left, right? When you entered, there's a lot of room to the left. But then when you
Yeah.
do go to the left, all these areas, let's put one in here, right? All these areas are potential resistance,
Yep.
right? And look at where this was and look at where it is right now. But it doesn't mean that there's liquidity up here, right? There's a lot of stops up here. So we could be going in and getting that liquidity and then possibly moving up to the next level, right? And then the next, who knows? But a lot of stuff to look at, you know, ATR, et cetera, et cetera. Have you been looking at the CVD, Evo?
CVD, cannabis?
The cumulative volume delta?
Oh, sorry. No. Don't you say
But
that.
I didn't hear what you said. Some people are laughing. What you say?
You said CBD, and I was thinking cannabis. You know, I
Oh,
was like, huh?
CBD. Yeah. Do you get high before starting your trading day?
No, not for me. But you know,
Yeah. No, sorry. CV as in Victor day, or Delta. It's an interesting tool to start looking at, right? It's again, I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but CBD right now is rising with price rising, right? That's a good sign. What you have to be careful about is when the price is moving up, but then CBD is staying flat, which basically just means that the buyers are not incredibly aggressive. But for right now, and not to add more to indicators, but everything that I share is just for educational purposes. So that's why I'm starting to really get into the CBD. I like how it looks.
yeah, it's in a tight spot right now. Palantir, we've got kind of a wedge formation at the very top. We have lower highs,
Yeah,
and kind of have higher lows so far. So there's going to be one move one way or another.
yeah,
The reason why I'm staying into this trade is I use a DeMark sequence indicator on my Thinkorswim, and on the 15-minute chart, on the 30-minute chart, on the hourly chart, everything shows that we're currently in sequence to go up. So that's why I'm going to stay in this, and I have a pretty decent conviction that we're still going to head up at least to get to around 1454, which is again the current SMA 200 level in the 1 hour. That would be the first potential target there. So
awesome.
we'll see.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yep. And have you noticed do you find that the charts of PTIR is identical to PLTR?
Yeah, reasonably. Yeah. I mean, it's a leverage
Incredible,
2x.
isn't it? When you think about it, it's incredible that they're two different charts, they're two different products, but the charts are identical.
Yeah.
Which you would wonder that, you know, that's always something that's fascinated me about the markets.
Yeah. We just need some volume to lift off here. And I think that we're approaching a high here on 1410-ish.
Yeah.
Right now, 1411. So if we get a pop above that, then I can, if it gets to a certain point, I can bring my stop to a little bit above break even to account for slippage.
Yeah.
And then just just let it roll. And because if this thing can go to 1454, I mean, that might be a really nice, maybe 5-hour target. If it gets to 1531, that would be sweet. That would be I'm trying to think how much that would be, but that would be a big R for me.
Yeah. So on PLTR, it just popped above high a day. Very close, but not quite on PTIR. There it goes. PTIR, a tiny bit of a delay, right? It's interesting. If anybody's asking why these two products are correlated, why if there's different traders trading this than people that are trading PLTR, the simplest way to explain it is market efficiency. Is that there are people that are looking at both products, and a lot of people will hedge one product to the next, and with pennies, and it just keeps everything very, very tight. Same reason why TQQQ trades almost identically to QQQ, but they're different products. Right? TQQQ is a leveraged product, while QQQ is an actual ETF.
Man, things going in my direction, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
soon
nice.
bring my stop to break even. But
PTIR. Yeah, I like the momentum here. Let's look at CVD for the fun of it. Indicator.
we're getting building up a volume on the 5-minute chart. That's exactly what I want to see on a breakout. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, your volume is higher than the pullback and then the red candles here. I'm going to zoom in a bit. This candle right here was a little bit low, but then on this doji, high volume, the breakout candle's not closed yet. Still another 30 seconds. So interesting level here. Right, this was a higher time frame possible resistance. We just broke through it. So anybody doing the break and retest, this broke through, could come down and retest this level. And when I say level, I mean it's not to the penny, but you know, if it retested around in this area, actually, let's bring this down to, yeah, no, I like where it is there. Could possibly retest here for the next move up. And then like we were talking about the other day, ATR is one of the things to look at as well.
Yes, it's 1.4 in the ATR right now. We're about $1.05. So there's definitely room.
30 cents, which is your take profit, right? 14.50, 54, I think you said.
Yeah, 14.54. I want to see what price action does around that level.
Yeah.
That would be about a 5.5 hour trade if it gets there.
Yeah.
We'll see. But right now, I'm kind of slowly moving my stop up to, I'm going to bring it up to about 13.96, which should be the low of this breakout candle. And then if we get up to about 14.25, then I can bring it to a little bit above break even. So we'll see.
Yeah, great.
Anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't want to dominate the session here, but just wanted to
Okay, that's why we're
share
here.
my thinking with everyone.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about this. It's I'm just here to share my knowledge and to try to moderate other people talking and just sharing a screen. So it's always great. Is this, I think MGC was what, yeah, that's what I was looking at. I had not put in the short tool over here, and this one did not work. Right? It's important to realize that I don't feel bad about the fact that this didn't work. Right there. Right. This one did not work. And it's not one of those things like, oh my God, I can't believe this one didn't work. No, it's okay. It came, holy crap. Oh no, that's after the fact. After being stopped out, it wicked all the way down here. But this is one that didn't work. Right? These are massive wicks. There's I don't know, there's buying going on over here. So we'll see what happens. Now that we've closed above the 61.8, I remove the fib. And I'm not really comfortable putting it the other direction either. I'm going to wait for the next 30-minute candle to close and then reassess. And if it just chops around here, then my setup doesn't work. Right. MNQ. MNQ is moving up. MNQ all-time high. Are the Qs same thing? Yeah. Anybody worried about the pullback?
I just got stopped out.
You what? Sorry?
I just got stopped out of PLTR. Look at this massive candle. Dang.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I actually rose my stop up a little bit. So I only took about a half hour loss, but
Yeah.
dang, that was looking so pretty.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Sorry that happened.
Hey, rather take a half hour than a full hour. That means I could potentially take another trade today if I see a nice setup. But yeah, that's a big rejection candle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
That's a big big rejection right under R6, right at this level here. Right at this level. Are the levels the same on PLTR? PLTR right around there. When charting, this is just for my students. Whenever you're charting anything, do it on the actual product. Do it on the actual on Palantir. That's what I suggest. I mean, looking at levels, you want to see the actual underlying stock. That's a rule for options trading as well. Right? You chart on the product, not necessarily on the derivative. So that was the level there. And then this right here was resistance. We punched through it, came back down. Resistance is possibly going to remain support. Don't know if your initial stop was below the wick on PTIR. Right. Was your initial -1R, was it below this wick?
Let me pull that up here. So my initial stop loss was 1387, which would have been just a penny below that
Yeah.
the fifth 5-minute candle.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I put it at 1387, and then when we
That's the
had
low.
the breakout, huh?
It's the low of the previous 5-minute candle, right?
Yeah, it was. Let's see, it would be at around the 9:50 a.m. Eastern Time candle. It was a spinning top there.
Yeah.
After the red hammer, so I put it just a penny below that, and then once we broke out in that big green candle bar,
Yeah.
I took my stop and I raised it from 1387 to I think it was around 1395.
Yeah. Right below these over here. That's
So even though I was green, like I was almost at 2R, like maybe 1.8R, like just I could see my P&L there, but
yeah.
like I'm not touching it. Like I'm gonna just raise it to. I'm just trying to manage my risk first before I think about making money. So I wanted to tighten up my stop, and but yeah, I have my ideas, and sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah. Look at the pre-market high level here. I'm on MNQ. Pre-market high, punched above it. Right. So this is a good example of the, I'm on the 1 minute now. On the 5 minute, we see it just side by side, but let's zoom in on the 1 minute. So this was the break, right? And it is breaking with momentum because we've got a fair value gap here and then another one right beside it. So we broke up and then came back down, retested it with this massive wicky candle. Right? I know that there are some traders that would enter this. They probably have a market order waiting. That's what I like to do with DOS, is that I'll have a market order waiting. And then when my setup appears, you can just slide it and punch it in. Not necessarily the best strategy, but it allows you to get in with a very, very tight stop. Right? So if you got in here and then right now you're at 15R, right? Not something that I have traded that way in the past, and I have had these massive winners, but it's difficult to master, right? Especially when you have a wick that comes down like this. I mean, it's hard. I mean, that's a scalping strategy. But nice breakout, retest, did not give an entry. I mean, for a retest, you'd want it to touch here, even wick down a tiny bit, maybe underneath. and then give a bullish candle. Well, the first real bullish candle is way the heck up here. It's a bit far away. So interesting price action on MNQ. Is MES. See, we're lagging. MNQ is at all-time highs and punching up. MES is not. MES is still in chop here. We're still going down on M2K. MGC is just chopping. Oil was in a very, very tight range yesterday and then came down, and this morning retesting this area again and then possibly moving down again. So with the first hour almost closing, I would be drawing fibs on the impulse move down, because from the first half-hour candle to where we are now, we're selling. Right? So this is what I'd be looking at depending on where the bottom is. And I'd be looking at possibly selling at the 50 for the further move down. But pre-market low is right here, which could be support. But then if you look left, we've got a possible target over here, 88.66. Right? So honestly, I don't think I'm going to be taking anything at this point. But I mean, if something, if something shows up that looks very interesting, I might look at it. PTIR. Okay, so it's made that makes me feel better, Evo, that it's come down even lower. If it had reversed from the penny stop and then went to the moon, and then those are hard to take.
Yeah. And yeah, in hindsight, oh, should I've just raised, in that big push up, should I have just raised my stop to a little bit above break even, because it could be you're looking at almost about a 1.5 drop from that high of the breakout. But yeah, it's okay. It's a small loss. So
yeah. No, I think I like your management idea, right? We punched through and closed above the high, right? We closed a 5-minute candle above the high here, right? So
with volume,
this area of possible resistance has been punched through. So if it does come back down, then there's a possibility it's going to come back down and flush. So moving your stop here, I don't think is a bad strategy. I mean, it's different for everyone, but I probably would have done the same.
Yeah, because that is a risky area, that it could just completely retrace and head south. But all my indicators, like I said, my DeMark, everything looked good to me for long, and there was a lot of room to the left side, and they got hammered recently. So after their earnings, even though it was positive earnings, I thought, well, this might have legs to move up some more.
Yep. Piton was in the news this morning. I don't trade this stuff, but
Peloton.
Yeah,
Wow.
Peloton, they had earnings this morning.
I gotta look at that. I used to trade that back in the day. How about you?
Yeah, and it's at 5.31. I mean, it's cheap. And then I saw also another one that I used to trade, especially right after, during the pandemic, CVNA, Carvana.
Carvana, man, that's like a $500 stock or something. I remember trading, and it was like 20, 30.
Yeah, but they just had a split? Did they?
Look at the Qs, just amazing.
Sorry, top 5. No, that's okay. Look at the cubes. Yeah,
quite different than the SPY, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. SPY's lagging.
Yeah.
Right, what the heck was this candle here on SPY? 4 a.m. candle. Wow. Yeah, and then Qs, I mean, the price action on Qs, I mean, just going up, pulling back, up, pulling back, up, a little bit of a pullback, up. You can assume we're going to be looking for a pullback. I just, as far as investments are concerned, this is incredible. Right? This is awesome. But can't go up forever. So there's I mean, there's going to be pullbacks, right? All of these, this was 2022. I mean, the entire year was down. But then since then, this was the April tariff thing from 2025. And then this move and this steep move, I mean, it's almost a straight line, is what scares me. As far as how quickly and how much of a straight line this has gone up, that worries me. Right?
You think that's a short squeeze?
I don't think it's a short squeeze. No, I think it's just the people want to be in this market. People are thinking that we have a very strong market, strong economy. This is despite the fact, like March 28th, February. This was what am I looking at here? March 20, wasn't it February? The current Middle East conflict. Right, I believe it started on February 28th, so right around here we dropped, but we're still in this conflict, and we're just pushing up. I mean, can you imagine if things get what's the word, rectified or solved? If we find peace in the Middle East and other conflicts, I mean, holy, and I think it's people are confident that the economy is going well. They're confident in technology and the AI revolution that is coming. Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to crash, but I'm assuming there's going to be a pullback.
There's got to be one sometime.
There's going to be a pullback. At some point, there's going to be a pullback. Right? Will it be a decent pullback? I mean, the obvious level of support now is right here, right? I had this line here, or I don't know if I just put this on, right? That's an obvious level, but I mean, can it pull back more than that? And the answer is yes, it can. Whether it will or not, I haven't looked at my crystal ball lately, so I don't know. I don't know.
Just a push right on the MNQ.
MNQ shorting the top. Good luck.
876.
Yeah. Good luck. I mean, that pullback could start now. Right? I know a trader that puts in massive size at the top to take these shorts. I mean, his stop will be way up higher, but the way he trades is that he's looking to short back into these levels here. Not something I would suggest. It's not something I trade, but he does it on futures and with the full size futures, not the MES, and he's had success doing that.
Yeah, reversion to mean, it's very popular.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is, right? Thanks for saying the proper term here, right? The reversion or the pullback back to reversion to mean, right? That's the proper term.
Yeah, most likely these traders they might be trading also what do you call it? The points, just a second. It's not they trade the volume range, the volume profile,
Yeah.
and they looked to take the price back to the center of this volume profile.
Yeah. Let's look at it.
They call it mean reversion.
Yeah.
Reversion to mean.
There you go. Let's look at just a recent volume profile right here. Let's just look at it from here to here. There we go. So right at the top here, look at this tool a little bit, and then I'm going to have to take off. It's past 10:30, right? There's very little volume that was traded over here. We are above the value area high, but this would be the central pivot or the
Yeah, they take it to central pivot.
yeah, it's not the central pivot though. It's the, what's this term? If somebody can remember the term, the dotted line over here, right? I should add the labels to it. But anyway, that is the trade, right? Coming back for the reload, right? And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what is that? It's the same thing as a fib, right? Let's put it on, right? So
Yes.
reloading, right? Oh, I want to put it right here, right? That's what I'd be looking at, is coming back into this range for the further move up. But this is such a massive candle right now. I don't know if I'd I don't know. That's a big pullback now at this point. So yeah, so many things to look at. I mean, there's all kinds of different tools, and you got to figure out what works for you, right? Not for you, but just, for the individual. Anyway, good luck on that short.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, on the 5-minute time frame, there was a little bit of a pullback here. So yeah.
And also one more thing, what got me really into it, looking at the CVD.
Yeah.
You'll see that it started forming something like a double top. If you add the CVD for this trade.
Yeah, for MNQ.
For the MNQ, yes.
Yeah, MNQ, there's a CVD, right? So the way that this is basically showing how aggressive, the simple way to look at CVD is when price is going up, you want CVD to be going up as well. If price is going up and we're making new highs, but CVD is flat, it basically means that the buyers are no longer aggressive. Right? So if we keep making new highs here, but CVD remains flat, it's another piece of the puzzle for a possible return back to mean. Right? Did I explain that right?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, it's 9:36, or sorry, 10:36. The room remains open, guys, if you guys want. Point of control. Thank you, Ken. The point of control is the word I was looking for. Let's just put it back here. I just saw it. Just put this in red. This is the point of control. Value area high, value area low, point of control. Point of control is just the highest where the most volume was traded at price, right? So the POC. Okay, thank you for that. So I love about this community and this room. So like I was saying, this room remains open. If you guys are going to stick on, I'm not sure if anybody else is coming on, but just see that there's messages that were posted. I don't know if anybody said anything. And that, no. Okay. All right. So with that, I'm going to head out. Have a great day, everyone. And I'll be back tomorrow. All right.
Thank you.
Joe.
Thanks, Jill.